Hi guys, it's Andy from Man City Fan TV, and I want to say thank you to Chris for inviting me on his particular vlog. He's asked me a series of questions, and I'm going to start off with the first one, which is, what are your thoughts on the season so far? Well, it was a tough start, obviously with lack of rest, lack of pre-season at Manchester City. I expected us not to start in the way that I'm sure a lot of City fans wanted to, and then, of course, at one point I think we were down in 12th. But I always had the faith that as the season progressed and we started getting people back and people fit, and we've also had the likes of Sergio Aguero out pretty much most of the season. Kevin De Bruyne has now been out for the last few weeks as well, and we've had other people in and out with injuries. Laporte, we've had the likes of Nathan Ake, who's currently out as well. So we've got all our players, well, most of our players back fit now. And yeah, consistency with City. And Pep's done a wonderful job the way he's brought Phil Foden through. So I'm really pleased where we are. Still a long way to go. But yeah, season has just been absolutely perfect. And we're in the League Cup final. We are in the next round of the FA Cup. And obviously we're going to start at the end of this month with the Mönchengladbach Champions League game. So there's still plenty of trophies to go for. But yeah, very pleased with the way things have progressed. Now, on to his second question. Has there been any standout players? Well, you'd have to say Phil Foden definitely is one of them. İlkay Gundogan, who, I don't know, he had COVID, and since he's come back from COVID, he's been a completely different player. He looks fitter, he's running around more, and he's playing in a more advanced role. That way, it's allowed him to be sort of a fox in the box, and his finishes have been superb. Scored a load of goals so far in the last month or so. So İlkay Gundogan, big shout out to him, and he's always been an absolute class player. Just he was not getting much of a chance, and then obviously injuries. Another one is João Cancelo, right back. As a defender in a natural right back role, I don't think is as good as Kyle Walker, but going forward he brings so much more. Very flexible, can play in that false 8 role, and when he's been playing in that role under Pep over the last sort of 6-8 weeks, he's been absolutely fantastic. And the final shout, Reuben Diaz, what a signing! 23 years of age, absolutely phenomenal. It's almost like what happened with Liverpool when they signed Van Dijk. We were just desperate for a replacement, let's say, for Vinny Kompany, and he is looking like that particular replacement. Could be an absolute bargain by the end of it, and has still got another 10-12 years at the top of his game. Shout out to John Stones as well, come back from a difficult time. Personal stuff off the field, but since he's come back, partnered with Reuben Diaz, he has been phenomenal. And then we've got the likes of Sterling and everyone else starting to come into form, Bernardo Silva as well. So yeah, wasn't just one player. You know, I think this is a team effort, and this is the difference between other teams and where we are currently in the Premier League. Your thoughts, my thoughts on Jose, Spurs, and the season so far? Well, I mean, looking at the table, you're 8th, 22 games, 36 points. And I think just your last 5 games says it all. Win, loss, loss, loss, win. I mean, that's just unpredictable form. And you only have to look, I think, ahead of you are Everton. They've got a game in hand, so they could go to 40 points. They could go 4 points clear of you in 8th. And Villa are right behind you on 35 points with a game in hand. So again, you could be down in 9th, possibly 10th as well if you don't really pick it up. I don't know what's gone wrong. I don't know whether it's injuries, but I've never been a Jose fan, I'll be honest with you. And I hear the same things coming out of with Mourinho that happened at United, and it's happening now with Spurs. I don't think he's your type of manager. I think he's a busted flush, if I'm being honest with you. That's my honest opinion of Jose Mourinho. I think his days of after he sort of left Chelsea and Madrid, that was it for him. It just seems to start off in in the right way, but it just always falls apart. But I don't know. You'll probably have your own thoughts and opinions on Mourinho, but I do think it's going to be a difficult season for you. On to which Spurs players worry you? Well, it's the usual two, Kane and Son. I'd have both of them at Man City, and we'll be talking about it on our vlog tonight about Sergio Aguero. Will he stay? Will he not? And we'll be in for another striker, I'm sure. And Kane could be one of them. But for me, Son is the man that makes you tick. He's a phenomenal, phenomenal player. Absolutely brilliant. So for me, those two, but mainly it's Son, and he loves playing against Manchester City. On to my lineup and score prediction. I haven't seen the Pep press conference yet so far, so he might make me look a fool when I give you this particular lineup. But we're still waiting on some fitness issues with Rodri and a few others. But if everyone is fit, the usual suspects, without sort of Sergio and Kevin De Bruyne, I'm going to go for Ederson in net, always brilliant keeper. I'm going to go revert back to Walker played midweek in the cup game against Swansea, so I'm going to go Cancelo, Diaz, Stones, and Zinchenko. Rodri, if he's fit, and I know there is a couple of other sort of bits and pieces of knocks around, but I'm going to go with Rodri, Gundogan, and Bernardo in the midfield. Sterling on the right, Phil Foden on the left, and Gabby Jesus keeps his place up front for Manchester City, in my opinion. But like I said, we could get to tomorrow's game, and there might be maybe one, maybe two of those might have to change, depending on how they came through training today. But the final thing is score prediction. I'm going to go for a tight 2-1 win for Man City. I don't think it'll be a runaway. I don't think it'll be anything like Liverpool. It's always a fairly difficult game. You beat us in the away leg 2-0, but I'm going to go for 2-1 to Manchester City, and I think that run extends to 16 games, which more records being broken by City this season, which is phenomenal. And you could look at the 20-point gap that we broke a few years ago to the next team for this particular season. If this run continues, it could be something like that. But I do think it'll be a tight game, so I'm going to say City shades it 2-1. But anyway, this is Andy from Man City Fan TV. Again, big shout out. Thank you, Chris, for inviting me on. And yeah, don't forget, come over and join us on Man City Fan TV. All fans are welcome. And yeah, we'll see you soon.